Hello, moviegoers! Welcome to another episode of CritiCarter, the show where I turn you into a cinephile. Today, I saw the new film, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. Written and directed by Lorene Scafaria, and starring Steve Carell and Keira Knightley. After learning that the world is about to end in the near future due to an impending asteroid impact, a man and his next-door neighbor set out to find the man's high school sweetheart and reunite the woman with her family over the sea. Let me start out by saying I love Steve Carell in this movie. He is incredibly underrated as a dramatic actor, and those are the performances that I think he's best in. Now, I know that I'm going out on a limb here when I say I don't care for, Michael Scott or the 40-Year-Old Virgin and, all his various wacky characters, but if you know me, you know how I feel about him, and there's a few other comedians like him where, if you just let them play normal, real people, they do a really good job of it. But instead, they're always getting cast as these wacky, zany types that are way out of the realm of reasonability, if that's a word. Steve Carell's character in this film is very grounded, and I really liked seeing him in that role. Another really good thing about this film is all the different reactions and responses that people had to the news of the apocalypse. You have some characters that are just completely losing it altogether. You have others that are still, for whatever reason of their own, going on with life as though nothing's changed. And then you got the third category who are sitting out to make one big last hurrah in one way or another. And the reasons why people do the things they do, very entertaining, I gotta say. And finally, I cannot stress this enough. The film is being marketed as something that it's not. This is not a wacky comedy about the end of the world. This is a drama about the end of the world that happens to have some funny parts in it. And I would say, except for maybe one line, every funny thing in the movie is from a character not played by Steve Carell. So, thank you for that. That said, this film will, in its third act, tug at your heartstrings. You may find yourself welling up a bit, shedding a tear or two, so expect that going into it.
You shed a tear?
I did not.
Haha, bullcrap. You shed a tear.
You want me to finish this, or would you like to come in and talk about the film? Oh wait, you can't, because you didn't see it. Because you never see him.
I'm just talking about how you shed a tear.
You don't know that because you weren't there. Maybe if you would go to a movie and you would see, but you don't, so you can't. You mind?
I mind.
I bet I'm not even in the same spot in the shot anymore, because you made me turn around and all that. However, the film is not without its share of problems. The plot, I won't say the plot's predictable, because it isn't entirely. But the third act did disappoint me quite a bit. Also, Keira Knightley. Now, yeah, she's taken some very high-profile roles in the recent past, and some would say that they respect her as an actress. But there were parts of this movie where it seemed like she was being given a whole different script and different motivations from the director and just things like that. Especially at the very end of the film, it seems like Steve Carell and Keira Knightley are not even in the same scene together. It was almost like they were playing the opposite parts from what you would traditionally picture them playing, if that makes any sense. And she went way over the top with it sometimes, and it got on my nerves a little bit. And finally, something that isn't a problem with this movie much, but can be a problem with movies like this a lot. It's hard to write a script and not make things seem convenient. Do you follow? When you have your two protagonists, taking a trip somewhere, and of course they have to have obstacles to this trip, but somehow he knows a guy over here, or she knows somebody there, and they happen to have this thing that gets them further along their journey. Well, isn't that nice? Aren't they lucky? Because otherwise, the movie would just end. And then what happens? No satisfaction. No closure. However, because this film ultimately impressed me more than I expected it to, I give Seeking a Friend for the End of the World 3 out of 5 apocalyptic compatriots. You can see my review of Rock of Ages linked up over there. Next week I'll be seeing the new film People Like Us, starring Chris Pine, which I'll have linked up over there once that review has been completed. Remember, you can always find me at CritiCarter on Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr. Links are always in the description. Make sure to like and favorite the video if you enjoyed this review. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and really, why not? I've made like 42, 43 videos by now. If you're not subscribed to me, you're making a huge mistake. Look at your life, look at your choices. Okay?
It takes a bold guy to make a bold statement like that.
What can I say? I'm nothing if not a bold guy. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for the end of the world? If you found out an asteroid was about to hit the Earth and you had a month, what would you do?
Where did that come from?
That's what the movie's about? We've been here shooting this thing for a few minutes, and I mentioned that at the top, you know? I throw the people's names out there and then I say the movie.
It makes sense now.
I don't know how you managed to be in the room but not be in the room.
You threw me off with the other movies in the bold statement thing. Oh. Well, that was me.
Okay. Fade to black.